got your Julius Caesar right by the throat, huh? Okay, hold on.
And you knew that would get to me. Then I said to you, let's go to the store. And I told you, get anything you want. Get 2, 3, 4 baskets, whatever you want, pile of food in. Because I don't ever want to hear that you're without food. I don't ever in my life ever wanted to hear about that. The same thing would enter into Nancy or Kathy. I don't ever want to hear about it. Because I never want to see anyone in that type of a position. And if they are, barring you, they will be pulled out from under. But out of my generosity, you told me that one of your bosses were retiring. And you needed to buy a couple of bottles of whiskey, which actually broke to the type of booze that your boyfriend liked. And I have to wonder, what kind of a kick did you get out of that? What did you achieve by it? You got your ex, who treated you like a queen, refused you nothing, never. And you stabbed me in the back like this. I've always been a forgiving person. I may have a hard shell on me, but I'm a forgiving person. But there's no road for you any longer. Not what you did to my mother. I don't know where you're going to get your financial help. But when you want these junkets to Las Vegas, they cost money. Yes, I do know about that. I would say to you, marry this guy and live happily ever after. Thing in my life. If the good Lord Nancy's mind to marry me, don't ever think in your life that there's a road back for you. Today, there is no road back for you. In the chapel that day, yes, you were quite nice. You sat with my mother for about 5 minutes and then went downstairs and hung out in the room smoking and drinking your coffee and walking around like God only knows what. And I said to Kathy, isn't she priceless? Isn't she priceless? Now, I made a tape last night, being that this is Sunday. And I would never want that tape to fall into wrong hands. So I'm about to destroy it. Because I would be tempted, even though the language is very harsh in it, I would be very tempted to play it for Nancy. For Nancy to know how you took me to the edge. How you played the game with me. And how you played the game with a dead person. That's the most unforgivable thing. I can never forgive you for that. I can never in my life forgive you for what you did to Kathy. Let me tell you about Nancy. Nancy was there for me. She was there for Kathy. And she was also there for Wally Malone and Yvonne. That's the type of a girl she is. That's the type of a girl she is. She's everything you weren't. And I'll tell you something one thing I've noticed. When I met you, and I'm not trying to slap you in the face, you needed a lot of polish. And I think I can take the credit for that. And the credit for dressing in the right way that you were supposed to be dressed in as a business lady. But see, we had to show you class. See, with Nancy, it's a lot different. Nancy was born with class. Nancy carries herself well. Nancy's vocabulary is something else. She's got 2 wonderful children. She has suffered grief. And so have I. And the most amusing, not amusing, is that her tragedy and my tragedy, those 2 things ended up at St. Mary's Cemetery. All these years, I have never talked about it. I talked about it once to you, to show you there was no skeletons in the closet. I will never tell Nancy about that. Never.